Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
On Monday. So we're going to start with a little bit of walking forward and back, but that's the only minute of walking that we're going to do. So if you like to grab your hand weights, just go light to start, just kind of do that little check-in, like how's your body feeling this morning? So we're just going to start with a little light walk to the front end of your mat, take a little tiny baby squat, and then walk yourself to the back end of your mat and then do just a little tiny side leg lift and just kind of start to warm up your hips, start to warm up your knees, start to warm up your feet and your legs. And you can hold on to your weights if you like to, give yourself that little sense of counterbalance or just that nice little hand hold. And then maybe even notice, how is your grip feeling this morning? How's your back feeling this morning? How does your balance feel as you do those little side leg lifts? 20 seconds left, a nice slow, gentle pace. So this is just a warm-up minute. So although we are squatting, although we are leg lifting, take it slow, take it light. It doesn't need to be extreme to just ask your body how it's feeling this morning. 5 seconds left. And time, nice. Okay, now we're gonna take it into a slow motion bob and weave with a little cross punch. So we're going to step our feet to a nice wide configuration. Grab your weights if you like. You're going to make like you're making a little U shape with your body. Pivot a little bit, punch across your body, come back down, make a little U shape, make a little bit of a rotation and punch across the body. So we're going to go slow motion. So think like you're in some sticky tar or sticky mud. So take it really slow and even slow through that U shape, slow as you twist, slow as you punch. How slow could you make this movement? How in control of your body can you be all the way through? And then keep that slowness going and notice, how do your knees feel? How do your feet feel? How does that transfer of weight from one foot to the other feel? You're already halfway there. Nice slow motion. How slow can you go? Awesome, 10 seconds left. And time, nice. Okay, now if you can, hang on to your hand weights. We're going to go into some hula hoop circles, but we're gonna use our hand weights. You're gonna place your hand weights on your sides of your hips, and you're just gonna start to circle your hips. Circle in one direction. Notice how your hips feel. Notice how your back feels. Notice how your ankles and your knees feel working here. All right, now if you're going in one particular direction, go the other way. And then maybe just notice that little added bit of weight on your hips. How does that change things? If you lifted your hand weights off, does it feel different or does it feel the same? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. All right, now we're going to take our hand weights, load them up at the shoulders, and now we're going to take little tiny side bends. So you're just going to dip, like you're trying to dip your elbow towards the ground. Keep your hand weights kind of hovering above your shoulders so the arms stay slightly active. Ten seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, set your weights down. Now you're either gonna use a handhold, and I'm gonna use my foam roller just because it's handy, available, and nearby. It's going to be, we're gonna go 1 minute one leg, 1 minute the other leg, but we're going to switch the bit of work in between. So to start, it's going to be side leg lift. We're gonna do a double leg lift, rear leg lift, but do a double. And as we do that side leg lift and that rear leg lift, side leg lift, the toes and the knees are pointing forward, do a double. And then you're just going to slide that leg back slightly, and it's going to change where you feel the muscles in your butt working, and then do a double leg lift. So we're doing doubles for 30 seconds, and then we're going to move to singles, but we're going to stick with this leg for 1 whole minute. So get your hand hold if you like, double side leg lift, double rear leg lift, and just alternate between the two. Use a handhold so you don't have to focus so much on holding balance or gripping in your leg, but really find that work. We want to feel that differentiation if we can. Feel the work coming out of the side of your glutes, and then feel it coming out of the big max muscle of your glutes. Doubles and doubles. We got 3 seconds left with those doubles. All right, now switch. We're going to go single side leg lift, single rear leg lift. Still sticking with that one leg. So it's abducted out to the side and then slightly abducted as you do the rear leg lift. Nice job. 15 seconds left. And time. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other leg. Same thing on this side. So we've got double side leg lift, double rear leg lift, and then we'll switch at the 30-second point. So switch your hand hold or switch your place where you're holding on, and then away we go. Lifting out to the side, do a little double. Lifting out to the back, do a little double. Ten seconds left with our doubles. All right, when you're ready, switch to single. So we just do a single leg lift out to the side, single leg lift to the back. Nice job. And time. Woo, great job. Okay, give your legs a shake, give your butt a little bit of a shake. And now we're gonna grab our hand weights. I would say go light for our hand weights because it's gonna be a little crisscross chest press. So we're gonna stand in a lunging position. We'll switch our lunge at the 30-second point, but we're gonna alternate our arm work. So find a lunging position. However you lunge, it's more about challenging your balance and getting yourself in a nice strong stance. Elbows are going to come nice and wide, and we're going to crisscross punch across the chest. So we're going to pull the elbows back, keep the elbows wide, and then switch the top arm. We'll switch our legs at the 30-second mark, but we're going to alternate that top arm the whole entire time. We've got 1 minute on the clock. I'll tell you at 30 seconds to switch your feet. Elbows nice and wide, crisscross punch across the chest. Keep it at shoulder height best you can. Beautiful, awesome work. All right, when you're ready, switch your lunging stance and then come right back to those punches. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, set your weights down. Now we're going to pick up the pace just a little bit, adding a little bit of element of cardio. So we're going to jog forward and back. It's going to be a jog forward and back, but then at the front end of your mat, you're going to do a jumping jack. And at the back end of your mat, you're going to do a little switch, and then you're going to jog it forward. So if you are one of those friends who doesn't like to jump or do jumping jacks because of pelvic floor stuff, use this as an opportunity, especially since you're home. Use this as an opportunity. So at that front end of your mat, when you're about to do that jumping jack, take a little breath to squeeze up the pelvic floor, do your little jumping jack, and find that strength. Okay, we got 1 minute on the clock. You're gonna go as fast or as slow as you like. Jog it forward, do a little jumping jack, or go half jack, just depending on how your body's feeling. Jog it backwards, do a little switch with the feet, and then jog it forward. Jumping jack, jog it backwards, do a little switch. So we do want to keep our ankles and our feet vibrant and bouncy. We want to be able to jump, and we want to be able to hold the muscles in the pelvic floor. So we practice it at home so that we can get out in the world and do all the things that we want to do. Nice job. How fast or slow you go, totally up to you. What's your mood this morning? How big with those jumping jacks you go, totally up to you. But we want to stay light and bouncy in the feet. We want to stay light and bouncy in the ankles. Nice work. All right, and time. When you're ready, grab your hand weights, and now we're going to take it into a nice wide squat, reach down, touch the ground, overhead press. So grab your big, heavy hand weights, the heaviest you've got, bend down, touch the ground, to an overhead press. And then this morning, if you want just a little variation for your overhead press, as you bend down and touch the ground and then come, sorry, I was thinking about two things at the same time. As you come up for your overhead press, instead of going straight up and overhead, press it out like almost as if you're putting something up on a high shelf. Bend down, touch the ground, overhead press, but out in front of you just a little bit, just for a little variation of that movement. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're taking it right into a bent over row. So grab the heaviest weights that you can stand for that. We're going to keep our feet about hip width distance apart. Push your butt back. Bend over. We're going to go for a wide one this time. So pull the elbows wide, like you're pushing your elbows up towards the ceiling. Lower them with control. We got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. Keep a slight firmness in your belly and a slight double tuck of your chin. So we keep that good integrity through the back of the body. Keep it nice and strong. Pull those elbows back and then lower your arms with control. Yes, nice form. You guys look amazing. Ten seconds left. All right, now from here, we're taking it right into a deadlift. So if you like, do that little hip hinge, push firm into your feet, come up, squeeze your butt. Hip hinge, push your butt back. So let your hip hinge or your focus of your deadlift this morning be about how far back can you push your butt. So hold on to your weights, push your butt way back to the end of your mat. And then once your butt hits the end of how far back it can go, that's the end of your game. Push firm into your feet, come up, squeeze your butt. You've got it. Nice job. 10 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, the next minute of work, admittedly, kind of sucks, but we're going to hold on to one hand weight. So you're going to say, you're going to get up and down off the floor. That's the move that we're doing, but we're going to take one single hand weight with. So you're going to get down to the ground, come all the way down onto your back, come all the way back up, keep the hand weight in one hand, and then you'll pass it over to the other side. Come down all the way to your back, come back up, keep one hand weight. So we're going to switch our hands each time we go. You can assist with your hand. You can assist with your hand weight. We're going to come down onto our back and then come all the way back up to standing. How fast you go, that's going to be totally up to you. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Come all the way down onto your back. Come up in any way that makes sense to you. Switch your hand. Come all the way down to your back. Come all the way back up. And again, you can use your hand weight as an assistant tool, or you can try to stay hands-free the whole time. There's no right or wrong. You can come up and down in different ways. "20 seconds left. Okay, now the next time you come up, stay up just for a second, shake out anything that you need to, but now we're going to take it down into a tabletop position. And this one's going to be a little bit of a mobility move. So put your weight off to the side. We're going to go 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side. Cushion your knees if you need to. We're going to take our right hand. You'll either bring it behind your head or to your shoulder. That's just going to be what's more comfortable to you. And now we're going to take that elbow and we're going to draw a big, gigantic circle. So you're going to circle the elbow. See if you can scrape the floor, circle it all the way up and around as far as it will go. 30 seconds of work here. So that's all you got to do. Draw those big circles with your elbow. Your rib cage can move with you. Your head can move with you. Your hips can move with you, but try to keep those 3 contact points. So 2 knees, 1 hand down on the ground. Big circular work might look different on one side compared to the other, and it might look different one body compared to the other. So just go in the range of motion that makes the most sense to your shoulder and your side body. If you're going in one particular direction and you like a little reverse, go the other way. All right, when you're ready, switch your hands. So other hand down on the ground, load up at the shoulder or hand behind the head, totally up to you. Scrape your elbow, big circle around. Like I said, one side might feel different than the other. You may have more range of motion one side compared to the other. So don't try to make them look the same, just try to make them feel good. And if you like reverse directions, go the other way. And time, nicely done. Okay, we're gonna start by just taking it into a crawl. So a coordinated crawl, same hand or opposite hand, opposite foot, move in coordination with each other. Start by keeping your limbs down on the ground. Get that coordination happening. So right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg, move in coordination with each other. And then once you've got that coordination going on and it's feeling pretty good and fluid, now you're going to curl the toes under, pick up the knees, hover your tabletop position, but keep that coordinated crawl. So opposite hand, opposite foot, move in coordination with each other. If you need to bring your knees down in between each move, do what feels best to you here. Or knees down the whole entire time. If you're like, I'm not in the mood for that knee lifted crawl, do what feels the most beneficial to your body this morning. 10 seconds left, whichever option you're going with. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to stay in that tabletop position for 1 more minute. It's going to be 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side, but it's going to be a donkey kick and then a side kick. So tabletop or a little bit of a lopsided tabletop. We're going to kick the leg up towards the ceiling and then kick the leg out to the side. Kick it up to the ceiling, kick it out to the side. We got 30 seconds of work here. Stick with that leg for the first 30 seconds. We got 1 minute on the clock. Away we go. Lift the leg up towards the ceiling, kick it out to the side. How you position your tabletop is what makes you feel most stable. So you get the work coming out of your legs rather than having to pay attention too much to the upper body. 10 seconds left on this side. All right, when you're ready, switch your legs, kick it up towards the ceiling, kick it out to the side. 30 seconds here. You got it. Nice job. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're flipping over onto our backside, taking it into our hip bridges. So grab the hand weights that you like if you want to load up at your hip points. Come down onto your back. Feet are going to be about hip width distance apart. Heels nice and close to the butt. For this particular move, if you can, keep your feet about hip width distance apart because we're going to change our bridge in another minute. So hands down alongside the hips. Exhale, lift your hips up, squeeze your butt. Inhale to lower down. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take it at your pace and add the load of weights that feels the best to you. You could also put your looping resistance band around your thighs if that feels good. Fifteen seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, keep that bent knee position, but we're going to move right into some crunches from here. So hands behind the head. Exhale, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Inhale to lower down. And then see here if you can find that breath connection. Exhale as you crunch up. Inhale to release. The full purpose of this is you contract the abdominal muscles and then relax the abdominal muscles. So if you like that little pause in between to let the muscles completely relax, do that. But if it feels good to just keep going, this morning you choose your own adventure. Pick the one that feels the best to you. Crunch up, lower down. 25 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, now we're going back to our hip bridges, but we're going to add a little bit of variation. So we're going into a butterfly position. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. But for this one, because we're doing a crunch as well, if you want just a little bit of something to give it a little oomph, grab your hand weights. We're going to keep the soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Elbows are going to pin against the ribs. So we're using our elbows for a little bit of leverage for our hip bridge. So you're going to push into the feet, push down into the blade edges of your feet, lift your butt, squeeze your glutes, lower down, and then press up towards the ceiling, do a little crunch, reaching the hand weights across the room, and then lower back down, tuck the elbows down. Lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, lower your hips, raise your arms, crunch up, and that's the two things we're doing. Lift up and give a little crunch, lower down and give a little hip bridge. We got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. If adding those hand weights feels like a little much at this point, always have an option to leave that part off. Same thing here with that breath pattern. I like that exhale as I lift up for my glute bridge, and I like the exhale as I come up into that contracted position or come up into my crunch. And time. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to just rearrange ourselves a little bit. So we're going to grab our rolled up towel. We're going to take our rolled up towel and do it the length of the spine. So you're going to take your rolled up towel, place it on your mat. To do the first bit of work, we're going to go with tailbone on and head might be off. So we want the tailbone on for the first 2 rounds. So get yourself onto your little end of your towel. Oh, and you do want your hand weights, so have them available and nearby. Roll your way down. So we want the towel to run the length of our spine. So we want the towel on the bony prominence of the spine. For this one, my head is off of the edge of my towel. So you want to make sure that your head feels comfortable, tailbone feels comfortable. Once you've got your way there, legs are going to be in a wide supported position. Elbows are going to be nice and wide, and we're doing a chest press here. So we're pressing our weights up towards the ceiling, lower down, let the elbows tap the ground. Press up towards the ceiling, lower down, let the elbows tap. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take this at your pace. Go with as much weight as you can stand. This is a nice challenging position to have the core challenge just a little bit by having that towel underneath the spine. So keep a slight sense of firmness in your abdomen and give yourself as much challenge here with those weights as makes sense to you. All right, and time. Lower your weights down. Now we're going to stay on our rolled up towel. We're going to lift the legs up into a reverse tabletop position. You're going to stabilize with your arms. So arms wide or arms close to the body. Where do you feel the most stable? And now we're going to take it into some alternating toe taps. So we're going to leave the legs in that reverse tabletop position. One foot's going to touch down and then the other. And you want to think about moving your thighs away from your heart space. So rather than trying to like bend your foot and touch it down to the ground, think about moving your thigh away to help your foot find the ground. We've got 1 minute on the clock. We're alternating those legs. Take the work at your pace and then just find that stable position. So you want to think about drawing your abdominal muscles down towards the towel so we stay nice and stable. Ten more seconds with those toe taps, and then we'll take it into some reverse fire hydrants. All right, once your legs are both lifted up in the air, now take it into some reverse fire hydrants. So one leg goes out to the side and then comes back in. Same thing here. We want to stabilize with our arms and we want to stabilize with our core muscles. So you want to feel like your spine is pressing down into the towel to keep you stable. 10 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, set your feet down. The next 30 seconds of work, all you have to do is open your arms out nice and wide. So for me right now, my head is off my rolled up towel. And the only thing we're going to switch at the 30-second mark is head on versus head off. So if your head is on your towel, then at the 30-second mark, you'll take it off. But if your head is off right now, like mine is, open your arms nice and wide, feet in a stable, comfortable position. This is just creating a slight opening through the chest and a little bit of compression against the spine. So breathe nice and deep here. Okay, now if your head was on your towel, you're going to scoot yourself up so that your head can come off the towel. If your head was off the towel, now you're going to scoot yourself down a little bit. So now your head is on the towel. Once you've got yourself rearranged, arms are just coming right back out to that nice wide position, feet in a stable position so you can relax. So we're going to reduce as much effort in here as we can, breathing nice and fully into the rib cage. So all you got to do is breathe. Five seconds left. Okay, now we're going to roll off gently. So you're going to roll your knees off to one side so you can peel that towel out from underneath your tailbone. And then we're going to take our rolled up towel. We're going to place it underneath the curve of our neck. So get your towel, move it underneath the curve of your neck. First things first, we'll make sure that that feels good, safe, and comfortable, just depending on the size of your roll. And now take your right leg across your left into a figure four, and we're going to go hands free. We're just going to lift that figure four up towards our heart space and then lower it back down to the ground. Lift it up, lower it down. One more time, lift it up, lower it down. And this time we're going to thread our hands through. So I like to take my one hand in between the space of my legs and then the other hand behind the thigh, or you might choose to grab hold of the top of the knee or your shin. Any hand hold that works good for your body. And then once you've got your hand hold, pull your legs a little closer to your heart, just to the point where you feel maybe a little sense of stress in your butt muscles. And then once you feel that little sense of stress in your butt muscles, hang out there, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Take one more breath. And then release nice and slow. Uncross your right leg from your left. Make sure your towel is still feeling good underneath your neck. If it feels like it's funky, move it out of the way. Left leg is going to come across the right. And now we're going to go hands free to start. Pick up the right leg, bring the legs a little closer to your heart, and then set them back down. Pick up the leg, bring it a little closer to your heart. Set it back down. Pick up the leg, bring it a little closer to your heart. Set it down, and then this time we're going to do our hand hold. So lift up, thread your hands through, get the hand hold you like the best. Pull it in just enough that you feel a little bit of stress or stretching sensation, or just a sensation in your butt muscle. No funky sensation in your knee. So don't go to a point where your knee feels compromised. Just want to look for something that happens in your butt. So find that sensation, and then once you're there, take a couple nice deep breaths. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently release. We're going to come up into a seated position. Keep the towel behind you, but we're just going to scooch our butt back. So we want to get our sitting bones. So think about those little bones that come into this fleshy part of your butt. Get your sitting bones on top of the roll of your towel. So we want to sit our sitting bones onto the roll of the towel, and then legs are going to come out in front of you with a good generous bend in the knees, and then we're just going to reach down, touch the toes. We're shooting to find a little stretching sensation in the low back. You may feel some stretch in the hamstring muscles, but we don't want to necessarily feel anything zinging us in our butt muscles, and we don't want to feel too much sensation in the backs of the knees. So make sure you bend your knees enough. Fold yourself down, and then see if you can just imagine that you're breathing into the back of your rib cage or into the back clasp of your bra. Take one more breath. And then come out of that folded position nice and slow and controlled. We're going to come up to standing, but take your towel with you. And now we're going to hold on to the long ends of our towel behind the back. Get a little bit of pumping action just to make sure you have a little bit of freedom for your arms to move away from the back of your body. And then once you've got a good handhold, a good nice wide position with the arms, we're going to take it into a fold with a little dangle with our arms. So hold on firm to your towel, hip hinge, bend over, let your arms start to fall away from the back of your body. Let them fall where they go naturally. Don't try to force them into anything. And then take 3 to 5 nice deep breaths, just depending on the pace that you breathe. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come up nice and slow. So hands are going to start to lower towards the low back. Bend your knees a lot. Lift from the top of your head. Come up nice and slow and controlled. Take your time. And then as you come up, release your grip. Give your shoulders a little shrug and a little wiggle. You guys are amazing. Grab your foam roller if you're sticking around. Clear your gear out of the way. We don't need any hand weights. We don't need anything fancy. Just grab your foam roller. And we're going to start with the foam roller at the bra line. So place your roller right down onto the ground. And then once you've got it there, we're going to come right against that bra line. So take your time as you come on down. Get that roller up against that bra line, and then we're going to crisscross the arms. I'm going to keep my crisscross a little bit loose to start, and then just start to rock yourself side to side. When I do this little crisscross rock side to side, oftentimes in this particular position, I find that my roller tries to roll up or roll down. So I just kind of use my shoulder blades to pivot it around and sort of push it back into place. So if it gets out of place, take the moment to put it back where you want it to be, and then just come right back to your work. Okay, now the next time you roll over to the right, we're going to stay over to the right, and then you're going to take your elbows and draw them in little micro circles. You're going to circle in one direction. Circle the other way. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to come through center, switch the cross in your arms, and then come back to that little bit of rocking side to side. Same thing here. I often find that my roller gets a little bit wiggly out of place. So I kind of shove it back down underneath my shoulder blades and then come back to that rocking. Okay, now the next time you roll over to the left, stay there. Draw little circles with your elbow. Go in one direction. Draw little circles, go the other way. Nice. And then come back through center. Hands are going to come behind the head. Inhale, lean over the back of your roller. Exhale, come up with a little bit of a crunch or a little contraction of the abdominal muscles. Inhale, lean back. Exhale and crunch up. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, crunch up. We're going to do 2 more with those crunches. And then on the last one, we're going to lean back and hang nice and heavy. So you're going to go as far back as feels good to you. Find that hanging out position. Hands can support the head, or you can release them, whatever feels better to you. That gets you a back bend that feels really beneficial. Take a nice full breath in. Super slow breath out. Awesome. And then when you're ready, contract your abdominal muscles, come up nice and slow. We're going to roll back over to that right lat. So that place where we were working before, but we had our arms crisscrossed, roll back over. But now see if you can keep your arms slightly lifted out of the way, and then give a little gentle roll up and down. Nice. One more gentle roll up and down, and then we're going to roll over and across to the other side. So you want to think about that big muscle that runs along the back of the armpit, and then just right down that side of the rib cage on the back side of the body. So see if you can find that muscle group. Keep your arms kind of lifted up and out of the way. Pick your butt up, and then just take a couple of gentle rolls up and down. Nice. One more roll up and down, and then come back through center. Hands are going to come back behind the head. We're going to pick up the butt. Now we're going to go shoulder blades all the way up to the tops of the shoulders, or bra line up to the tops of the shoulders. So with a nice amount of coverage here, roll up and down, but see if you can go super duper slow. Nice. One more time, going up and down, super duper slow. And then the next time you come up to the tops of your shoulders, you're going to take your right elbow, tuck it against the side of your body. We're going to drop over onto that muscle that runs up along the top of the shoulder towards the neck. You're going to let your butt touch down, and then you're just going to lean into a little bit and then take your top elbow and draw a couple of micro circles. You're going to only circle as much as feels good. We don't want to get too heavy into the side neck muscles. We want to just feel like we're putting a little bit of pressure into the muscle that runs along the top of the shoulder. So think where the shoulder is connected to the neck. That's the muscle that we're trying to find. Top hand is just going to draw a couple little micro circles. Awesome. One more circle around. And if you like that little reverse, maybe go the other way. See if anything interesting happens there when you change. All right, one more circle around, and then we're going to take it through center. Pause for a second, rearrange, hands behind the head. Take a moment to get yourself settled in. And then once you're there, lift your butt up, take a couple of gentle rolls up and down, up to the shoulders, down to the bra line. All right, now the next time you come up towards the top of the shoulder, take your left elbow, tuck it up against the side of your ribs, roll onto the left. And then once you're there, take a second to rearrange, settle in, make sure everything feels supported. And now that top hand elbow is going to draw some little circles. Circle in one direction. Circle the other way. One more circle around, and then we're going to come through center, but this time we're going to get the roller underneath the curve of our neck. So that lightly less supported place. So we're not going to do too big of a movement here, but get the roller so that it's just underneath the curve of your neck. And then once you've got it underneath the curve of your neck, you're going to think about just tucking the chin up and down like a half a centimeter. So super small, gentle motion here. One more little micro tuck of the chin up and down, and then we're going to draw little micro circles in the air with our nose. So you're going to imagine it, you're drawing a little 1 centimeter circle on the ceiling with the tip of your nose. So keep it small, keep it light, keep it gentle, especially since we're on that slightly less supported place of the cervical spine. We want to just be slow, gentle, and mindful here to make sure that we're only making movements that feel good and beneficial. You should be breathing comfortably. Everything should feel really nice. If you're going in one particular direction, reverse, go the other way. Awesome. One more circle around, and then let everything come to stillness just for a moment. Take a breath. Cool. Now we're going to prop ourselves up, and then we're going to take the roller and hug it really nice and firm up against the low back. Once you've got it up against the low back, we're going to roll slightly off to one side. So we're going to go low back, side body, pick your butt up, and then do a couple of gentle rolls. So we're going to think about getting to that hip crest where the butt meets the low back, and then up, almost trying to find the rib. Let your arms and your legs help support so we're not dropping too much body weight into that unsupported place. Lovely. Take one more little roll up and down, and then set your butt down, reposition yourself over to the other side. Reposition your roller, reposition your body, get into that low back side body place. And then once you're there, pick your butt up and then roll up and down gently. Wonderful. One more roll up and down. We're going to roll back over to the right, but now we're going to get a little bit further on so that we get onto the rib a little bit and into the diaphragm. So think about where the curve of your ribs are. We're going to get up So the rib is going to be just like right on top of the roller. So get up and over, find that place where your bottom rib is over the top of the roller, and then lean into it just a little bit. We want to feel like there's a little compression on the diaphragm or that space right under the rib. So see if you can find a little sense of compression, and then lean into it just enough so that it feels like a sensation as you breathe. So breathe in nice and full into your rib cage. And then breathe out even slower. Breathe nice and full into your rib cage. Super slow exhale. One more breath. All right, and then come off nice and slow. And we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to roll across. Take your time. Think about that curve of your ribs. We're going to get the curve of the ribs up over the top of the roller. So we feel that sense of compression in the diaphragm. Lean in just as much as you need to. And that shape might look different on everybody. So just what you want to do is look for the place, not so much the body shape. So find the curve of your ribs, a little compression in the diaphragm, and then breathe nice and fully into the rib cage. Big, full, expansive breath and a super slow exhale. Take one more breath. Nice. And then come off nice and slow. Take your time. And then once you come through center, hands to the roller, pick your butt up, put it right up on the roller. And we're just moving right into that big roll across. So go side of the glutes to side of the glutes. Beautiful. Now, the next time you roll over to the right, stay there. Take a couple of good generous rolls up and down. Get as much of the side of your butt and up in towards that hip crease as you can cover. Beautiful. One more up and down on this side. And then when you feel ready, take it over and across to the other side. And then same thing here, big generous roll up and down. Get as much ground on the side of your glutes as you can cover and go in a nice, slow, gentle movement. All right, one more good roll up and down, and then we're going to come through center to arrange ourselves into a little figure four. So send your left leg long, bring your right leg across, and then we're just going to get it so that what we want to have access to is the Achilles tendon. So even if you keep your legs long, we're just going to start to push the Achilles tendon up and down. So you're going to use your thumb and your index finger resting in that figure four position. So whatever feels like the most comfortable, easy to sit in position, access to the Achilles tendon, and then just use your index finger and your thumb and just gently push the tendon up and down. Great. Now, the next time you push down, hold that downward pressure and then point and flex your foot just a little bit. One more point and flex, and now we're going to do that upward push. So use your index finger, push the Achilles tendon up, hold that upward push sensation, and then point and flex your foot a little bit. Awesome. Release your handhold from your Achilles tendon. Give your foot a little twirl just to kind of soothe it out. And then we're going to keep that figure four position, but now roll over onto your side and then take a couple of gentle rolls up and down here. And I say gentle, but that is a relative term because I am feeling some sensation in my glutes today that feel less than gentle. Take one more good roll up and down. And then when you're ready, come through center, release that figure four, take a second, bop out your knees, make sure everything feels good. And then we're going to switch our figure four to the other side. So you're going to bring your leg across. This is the one so that we have access to the Achilles tendon. So start by just giving your Achilles tendon a little push up and a little push down. All right, the next time you push down, hold there, point and flex your foot. It doesn't need to be an extreme point and flex. We just want to feel that little bit of change of tension in the tendon and move your foot a little bit. Great. One more up and down with the foot, and then push up with your index finger against that Achilles tendon. Hold that upward pushing sensation, and then point and flex your foot. Awesome. One more point and flex of the foot, and then release your handhold from your tendon. Lean over to the left, keeping it in that figure 4 if you can, and then if it feels good, roll yourself up and down. Nice. One more nice generous roll up and down. And then when you're ready, come through center, release your figure 4, give your knees a little bop, a little wiggle. We're going to flip it around into tabletop position. So come on up onto all fours, take your roller with you, and we're going to tuck it right under our knees so that we can roll out our shins. So get yourself in place, find that tabletop position, and then draw your knees towards your elbows, and then gently move your knees away. Take one more time in and out, and then we're going to move it down to the thighs. So you're going to let that roller come back, pop your knees up and off the roller underneath your thighs, and we're going to go big, generous roll with the thighs. So we're going to get as much ground covered here as we can. Down towards the knee joint, but stay off that bony landmark, and then all the way up towards the hip points, but stay off the bony hip points. So we want to just get that big muscle group covered. Keep a slight sense of firmness in your belly and a slight sense of broadness in your shoulders so the upper body helps support you as you move. Wonderful. Now the next time you come to like middle of your thighs, brace your shoulders, firm up your shoulders and your upper body, bend your knees, and then we're just going to swish the knees a little bit side to side. Wonderful. One more little swish of those knees side to side, and then float your toes down. Before we flip around and get the backs of our calves, we're just going to lift the roller up, move it underneath those front protruding hip bones. Once you've got it underneath your hip bones, pause for a moment, make sure everything feels good there. And then we're just going to do a little gentle roll from side to side. So you're going to roll across onto the right side front pocket entry, roll over to the left, right onto that left front pocket entry, and then just take a couple of gentle rolls from side to side, but go nice and slow so that you can take the time to make sure your hip points stay lined up with the roller. Beautiful. Now, the next time you roll over to that right side, pause there for a moment. No need to move. Just get nice and heavy. Relax into it as much as you can. Take a nice big breath. Two more cycles of breath if you can stand it. All right, when you're ready, carefully and gently roll back through center. Take your time, and then we're going to roll across over to the left. Roll onto that left side, and then pause there for a moment. So no need to move. Just want to get heavy here, and then breathe nice and full. Wonderful. When you're ready, slowly roll your way back through center. Prop yourself up into a tabletop position. We'll take a little bit of a heart melter or puppy pose before we flip over to get those calves, but walk your roller out. Keep your hips fairly in line with your knees. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. Just soften into this for a moment. Get that nice big upper body stretch. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, pull that roller back in. Flip your legs around so that you can get your calves over the tops of the roller. And then once you've got yourself there, we're just starting with that nice foam roller walk. So we're just walking it up towards the backs of the knees and then walking it back down towards the ankles or down towards the Achilles tendon. Okay, now we're going to change the shape of our legs a little bit, but we're going to keep that walk happening. So now we're going to turn the toes out and then see if you can walk your roller up and down with your toes turned out. So it's going to change the contact points on the sides of your legs. Nice. One more walk up and down with the toes turned out, and then you'll reposition. Toes are going to turn in. This is going to change your shape just a little bit, and it's going to also change the way your knees move. So go slow and mindful here. Keep the toes turned in. Walk your roller up and down. Wonderful. Now, the next time you walk back down towards your ankles, stay there. So we're going to leave the right Achilles tendon on, stack your left foot on top, and then rock your bottom leg just a little bit side to side. One more little rock side to side, and then we're going to switch to the other foot. So left foot on, right foot stacked on top, and then rock that bottom leg a little side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side. And now we're going to move the roller up a little bit. So we're going to go middle of the right calf, stack your left leg on top, and then gently rock a little side to side. So this one might be a little sensational, or you might feel like the ribbony muscles of your calf muscle kind of bump up against the roller. So go slow, be as gentle as you can. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw. See if you can let your jaw soften. All right, one more little rock side to side. Woo, I felt that one. All right, left leg on, middle of the calf, stack your right leg on top, and then gently rock that bottom leg side to side. Give it a moment. So notice that you may have like softened up the other side, and then you get over here and you're like, oh, there's those muscles. So give it a few moments to kind of relax into that work. Woo-wee. Nice. One more little rock side to side, and then unstack your legs. Walk the roller underneath the bend of your knees. And then once you've got it underneath the bend of your knees, we're just going to do that little top of the leg smush. So you're going to use your hands, and you just want to, what we're looking to do is there's like lymph nodes and just little tendons in the backs of the knees. So we want to be super gentle, use our hands to do the work. And you're just going to put a slight downward pressure and then just draw some little micro circles. So we want to feel like the backs of the knees are connected to the roller. And then it shouldn't feel highly sensational. More of the sensation will probably happen at the tops of your knees, but the work that we're shooting to achieve happens at the backs of the knees. All right, and if you're smooshing in one particular direction, maybe swish the other way. Beautiful. One more little smush around, and then we're just going to lift those knee points up and off, walk the roller out in front of your feet, and then we're going to come up to a standing position. So take your time. Once you've come up to your standing position, we're going to start with a forward fold just to feel the back of our body. So take a nice big reach up and overhead, micro bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down towards your roller. Hands are going to find the roller, head's going to get nice and heavy. Take a nice big breath and just notice the backs of your legs, the back of your body, the back of your shoulders. Take a nice big breath. And then soften your knees even more so that you can steamroll the tops of your feet. Pull the roller towards your ankles and then press it down toward your toes and put as much pressure on as you can find. Beautiful. One more steamroll to the tops of the feet, and then leave the roller on your ground. Bend your knees, come up nice and slow to a standing position. We're going to go right foot on, center of the foot. So we're going to place the center of our foot on, lean into it as much as you can, and then just do that little bug squish. So we're just going to squish the foot side to side. One more little bug squish to the center of the foot, and then lighten up all that pressure, and then just gently roll the bottom of the foot from heel to toe. Nice. One more roll of the bottom of the foot. And then when you're ready, set that foot down, other foot on, go middle of the foot, lean in, put as much forward pressure as you can stand, and then squish your foot side to side. Wonderful. One more little squish of that foot side to side, and then release that pressure. Keep your foot on the roller, and then just soft roll the bottom of the foot. Beautiful. One more soft roll to the bottom of the foot. And then we're going to just step that foot off, leave your roller on the ground. We're done with our roller, but we're going to take one last little side stretch. So inhale, arms up and overhead, grab one wrist. We're going to lift up and then lean away. So just take that nice big space into the side of your body. Take a nice big breath. Lift up through center, switch your grip. So we're going to grab the other wrist, lift, and then lean out. And then take a nice big breath. Beautiful. On your next inhale, come back up through center, release your arms, roll your shoulders out. You guys are amazing. Nice work today.